most important video you've ever watched if you're under 30, because I'm an old man. I'll be 42 this year. And there's a lot of things I wish I knew when I was younger that if I would have known them or known them better, I'd be even richer than I am now. And I know you guys are thinking that like, even richer. Yeah, there's another level. I'm on the penthouse Richard Mille level, but there's another level. Private jet level that I ain't. But had I known the lessons that I'm going to teach you now, I'd probably be there. But I did have some degree of knowing these things, which allowed me to become successful as I am now. And I want to make sure that you get this knowledge as well. If you these things up, I promise you, you are destined of a life of pain, sorrow, and misery. You're going to be struggling for money like the average American. The average American has less than $1,000 in their bank account, 17 pounds overweight, fat losers. And fat losers, who you think they marry? They don't marry bad bitches, supermodels. No, they marry other fat losers. I want you to come up, man, become the best version of yourself. Here are the things you need, skills you need to master if you're under 30. The first one is to delay gratification. When I was in my 20s, it was right after my father committed suicide. And I was struggling because it was also during the recession of 08, and it was very bad in the economy. I'm talking about, I went to college and I still couldn't get a job, like a good job. Nobody was hiring. We had record unemployment. There were people literally with master's degrees working at Starbucks because everybody was laying people off. Unemployment had never been this bad. The economy was in ruin. My father just fucking blew his brains out. I got to take care of the family, figure out a way to get us out of this trouble we're in, because I had the big goal. I had to delay gratification. A lot of things that people maybe overvalue in their 20s, recreation, casual sex, getting high. I didn't do much of that, right? I started working labor jobs because that's the only jobs I can get. I would wake up at 4:30, train people in the morning, then take the subway down to Soho, work at security at the Prada store. Then after that, I would work for a moving company at 5 days a week. And on the weekends, I trained people in the morning and I would work as a weekend manager in my boy's barbecue restaurant. And these is like 12, 14-hour days. And during that time, man, I missed out on, watching basketball. I wasn't playing PS2. I wasn't out here trying to be an international playboy. I was serious about success because I knew if I worked hard now, things would be better later. And after 2 years of doing that, I wasn't broke no more. I had a bunch of money that I was able to deploy against my goals, start my business, and now I'm fucking rich, successful, and handsome. But had I squandered that time, who knows where I'd be? Who knows where my family would be? Right now, you may not be in a situation. You still need to learn how to delay gratification because things are better later. If you're not willing to sacrifice for your goals, then your goals become the sacrifice. So make no mistake, it's a sacrifice either way. You may think, man, I want to enjoy my youth. I want to party. I want to do all this shit. That's cool. You can do that. It's just, you got to really think. If you sacrifice it now, you can actually come up. Then you can indulge in those things, but a better version of those things. Like, I didn't watch basketball during those 2 years. Now when I go to the basketball games, I sit courtside. I didn't smoke weed, but if I wanted to smoke weed now, I could get the best weed. If you sacrifice now, you can still have the things, but you get them later. If you sacrifice the vices, if you're not willing to sacrifice for your goals, the goals become the sacrifice. If you sacrifice the goals now, there's no guarantee you can get them later. Because as you age, things don't get easier. You don't get less responsibility as you're older. Right? It's gonna be way more difficult for you to come up in your 30s, especially if you fuck around and get married, have some kids. Now you got less time, less disposable income, and the likelihood of you accomplishing those big goals drops dramatically. And then you're also older. You're not gonna have as much vigor in your 30s as you do in your 20s. At 25, I sleep 4 hours a day and then work 14 hours a night, and it was all good. If I did that shit now, I couldn't. I just couldn't. I couldn't. So your energy drops. So the likelihood of you actually accomplishing the goals later diminishes dramatically, even if you don't believe me. In the 1960s and early 70s, Stanford University, they did a study that's called the famous Marshmallow experiment. The study involved children age 4 to 6. So the scientists got all these kids together, and what they did was they would put a marshmallow in front of them and say, hey little nigga, I'm gonna leave this room. If you don't eat this motherfucking marshmallow, when I get back, I'm gonna give you 2 marshmallows. Just don't eat this motherfucking marshmallow for 15 goddamn minutes. Some of the kids could not wait, and they was going 15 minutes. They fuck it, I got to have this marshmallow now. And some kids passed the test and they got 2 marshmallows. They followed these children for 40 fucking years. And what they noticed, the long-term studies that showed that the children who were able to wait longer for the second marshmallow tended to have better outcomes in all areas of life, including SAT scores, better social skills, far less likely of having substance abuse problems, and better overall health and success as they went into adulthood. Delaying gratification helps you in all areas of life, not even just your goals. That's what the studies show, right? You motherfuckers is eating the marshmallow now. The second lesson you got to learn in your 20s. It's similar to the last one, but different. It's goals over hoes. One of my mentors once told me, he said, a man will be as successful as his wife lets him. I thought, man, that's kind of sad, but I get it. Because you see so many guys, man, a bitch be like, oh, you work too much. And then it stops the motherfucker from working hard. So many entrepreneurs tell me, man, I want to work harder, man, but my girl, she's always tripping, man. You got to dump that bitch. I'm not joking. Let her be poor with someone else. Because if you want to do something that's extraordinary, right, and if she's not going to let you work as hard as you need to accomplish your goals, then she gotta go. She gotta go. And here's the thing though, just like delayed gratification, let's say you're smart enough to dump that bitch, focus on your goals, really come up. Do you think it will be hard for you to get a new bitch? Bitches is turning 18 every day. And you could probably get a better bitch. Like, let me explain to you. It's the only fucking dating advice you'll ever need. Let's say you are, there's this guy who is attractive. When I say attractive, I don't mean just looks, because women aren't as shallow as us. You know, when I was young, you know, she had a fat ass, man. She didn't even have to have a head, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, men is mostly looks is what we're looking at, right? But women, attractiveness, it can mean status, it can mean swag, but whatever she finds attractive, right? Versus motherfuckers who are ugly. And it's not just looks again, right? But that's the one I'm going to use. Oh, did I spell attractive wrong? I apologize, guys. They also take something else into account that men don't take account. If you're broke or if you're balling. And that's all women, not just gold diggers, just all of them, right? The first thing they ask each other is what he do for a living. I ain't never asked my boy, man, I met this bad bitch, man, what she do for a living, right? Like I never thought about it. So here's the thing. If you are broke and ugly, here's the kind of attention you get from girls. Nothing. They don't even know you exist, man. If you are broke and attractive, then, you know, she'll fuck a guy she likes if he's broke, but that's it, right? And these women will be distractions to you. They'll stop you from ever getting money, right? Because that's the goal. That's why you watching my shit. We not out here chasing empty victories. We trying to get to the bag, right? So she's a distraction, right? You might not notice by looking at me, but when I was a young man, I was like really beautiful and shit, you know? I was on a big billboard on 125th, man, when I used to be a model and shit. And I remember being broke, man, and like, you know, bitches a fuck a broke dude, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you are ugly and you are balling, let's move to the balling side, then you are a sugar daddy. And I'm not trying to shame the sugar daddies or the sugar babies. Whatever, you gotta just choose your own adventure, man. Whatever you want. You just gotta know what you're getting into, you know? Let's say you fucking attractive and you balling. What do you get from women? Whatever you want. And you want to be here in this quadrant. And you might have to sacrifice any host trying to stop you from getting there. You need more options, not less, right? The next thing you need is you're gonna need a high income skill. Here's why you need a high income skill. A lot of you guys, if you don't make a lot of money, it stands to reason that you're either making money with your muscle, like doing labor, or you're making money trading your time, doing spreadsheets and shit. You're not going to make a lot of money here, trading time for money or trading like labor for money, right? Doing construction, shit I used to do. I've done all of this, right? Now, here's the thing. To start making more money, you have to start getting paid by the results you get, and that takes skills. For example, I have people on my team who I pay by the hour. They don't have high income skills, right? They have some skills, but they're not high income skills, so I pay them by the hour. Those are high turnover positions, right? Because there's not a lot of upward mobility there, right? But my sales guys, some of them work the same amount of hours. Some of them make twice as much as others. Why is that? Because they get better results. They get paid for their results and they get paid for their skills. Then the more skills you have, the more you'll be in a position to get paid from your results. So now you're not in that rat race thing where you're getting paid time for money, because it's only 24 hours in a day. The money you can make from results is exponential. Skills are one of the ways you can get leverage. And then when you get money, then you can take it to a whole nother level. So let's say you're getting paid off your muscle or your time, and you don't have money, well, then you're doing motherfucking labor, right? And if you're getting paid off money and time, but you do have some money, you can still switch quadrants, right? You can move over here and you can be like self-employed. And that's still a come up. So what I mean mean by self-employed, let's say you got a skill, you a plumber and shit, right? You out here plumbing shit. You start your own plumbery. Now you get paid all the money instead of having the CEO of the Mario Brothers pay you to go plumb, right? You can start your own plumbery and now you make more money. Like as somebody who's self-employed, you definitely can make more money that way, right? These are forms of leverage. Skills and money are different forms of leverage, but skills is the one you need first. I'd rather you don't have to go here, right? You got skills, you can move here with no money. And where you are here, this gets you more money immediately. Like my sales guy, for example, my guy, Brian, my best friend, right? You know, white boy Brian, he was in a lot of the old videos from years ago. He was just a fucking trainer with labor, but I taught him how to sell. He started working for me as sales. Then he moved over to this quadrant and this gets him more money. And he's not self-employed. He doesn't have the responsibility of this person, but he still gets more money, right? And this is actually easier. He gets more money per hour than he did. He's not even paid by the hour. He's paid for the sales he gets. Now, the best shit is if your skills is high, right? Because you want to get here where you got money and skills. This is when you're creating jobs. You're creating income. Like over here, you're still making income. Here, now you are creating income. This is the highest. This is where you make the most money. But you got to get there. And there's two ways to get there. The easiest way to get there is improve your skill set. Come up with your skills. Boom. That's going to give you money. And then you take that money. Now you can start creating jobs. Or you could just not improve your skills. Boom. Move over here and then create jobs. But you're still going to need more skills when you get here too. But anyway, skills is the ultimate leverage. Skills and money are the ultimate leverage. You got to focus on your skills right now. Then that's going to get you more money to use as leverage to move into that quadrant. Because if we go back to Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, we had E, employee. This person is exchanging time for money. Then we had self-employed, which is better, but you're still kind of exchanging time for money. But then business owner, this is the quadrant I was kind of talking about. When you move up here, you're creating jobs. With the business owner, now your employees make you money, right? That's why I say creating jobs. Excuse my handwriting. The Chicago public school system leaves a lot to be desired. And then there's the investor. This is where the most money, right? He's on another level. He turns money into more money. Right? The easiest path is people, they start off as employee, they get their skills up, they become self-employed, boom. Then they start getting some employees, boom. And then they start investing, boom. And that's exactly what I did. I was a personal trainer, then I went on, then I upped my skills first. Then I became an online trainer, right? Training online. So I learned online marketing skills. And then I started hiring people and creating jobs. I went and took this path. It was kind of like this right here. Boom, 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 boom. And that's what you need to do is skills. That made it a bit more confusing than I wanted it to be. But I think you guys got it. The smart ones did. The dummies gonna have to rewind this. The next skill you're gonna have to master is having a strong work ethic. A lot of people ask me if they work hard. They're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, you don't know what working hard is, right? Because I told you before, I was working 12, 14-hour days, 7 days a week. Like when I say having the ability to work that hard, it's difficult to do that after your 20s, because in your 30s, that's when you start having responsibilities. People start pumping out kids, getting married, settling down and shit. It's difficult to put that kind of time in your 30s. In your 20s, you have the time to really work hard. And it may seem weird to you to work that hard. I had an advantage. It was normal to me. I told you my story. My dad killed himself and then we was fucking broke. There's more to the story. It's actually crazier than that. So we started off poor, south side of Chicago. And I got sent away to military school because I got in a little bit of trouble as a kid. Just a little bit of trouble, fights, skipping school, shootouts, normal Chicago shit. They sent me away to military school. When I was in military school, that's when my dad's business started taking off. He had been struggling with it the whole time up until military school. And I'm telling you, I saw my parents work super hard when I was in Chicago. Like my mom, she would wake me up at like fucking 4:30 or 5, walk me to preschool. I was the first nigga at preschool every time because she had to get on the fucking bus to go to work, and she had to work on Saturdays. And my dad worked on Saturdays too, so I'd be at the office with him. So I just saw them like work super hard, and I think that work ethic was drilled into me. I saw my parents work crazy hours, and I saw them work on the weekends, and I just thought that was normal, where you guys think it's crazy. That work ethic started to pay off for my dad when I went to high school, and he started making money. How much money? Well, by the time I graduated high school, he was making $3 million a year. Adjusted for inflation in today's money, that would be $8 million. He later lost it all. while I was in college. And then he killed himself, and then we was back to being broke again. So I missed the whole wave of wealth, but I saw that he did it. I saw that putting in that work ethic helped him get there. But the reason he had to do it in his 30s and 40s because he didn't do it in his 20s. In his 20s, he was running around Chicago, literally in fucking street gangs and shit, stabbing people and shit, man, all types of wild shit. I guess when I was born, he said, hey, man, I should get serious about success. Had he done that in his 20s, I wouldn't have grown up in the south side of Chicago and next to fucking where Chief Keef and them live. I'd have had a better upbringing. It worked out, but I learned from him, and I put in crazy work ethic in my 20s. When I finally had my first kid I was 35. Like now my son, you know, he don't know nothing except fucking private schools. Every time he flies his first class, like he don't know no shit. VIPs at Disney World. I'm able to do things for him my parents couldn't do for me, right? And that means a lot to me. But the only way to do that is to put in that work in your 20s. How hard should you work? Well, it depends on what your goals are. I like to think most people, when they go after their goals, they go after like this. Let me tell you. Let's say there's a bug in your house. In your house, not in my house. You know how high this apartment is, man? Bugs can't make it this high. I got a private elevator. How the bugs even gonna get in here? They don't have a fob. The doorman's not gonna let them in. So there's a bug in your house. He's living his life, man. A good life. Mating with other bugs. Fucking bug bitches having bug kids, man. They doing good for themselves. And you see the bug and you're like, hey, I'm gonna swat this fly. Or maybe you try to step on him or throw a chancleta at him or some shit. And that's cool. The problem is you might hit it or you might miss, right? That's how most people go after the goals. They do what they think will accomplish the goal. Put in that kind of effort. At best, that's what they do. Problem is you might miss. What if instead of trying to swat the fly, what if you bomb the building? Or, you know, bombing may be too strong. You fumigated the building. You probably kill that bug, right? Right, but you definitely get the bug. So what I say is, don't put in the kind of effort required to accomplish your goal. Put in the kind of effort that would make failure impossible, right? Think about it like that. You know, I play guitar. If you search Brandon Carter YouTube acoustic covers, you'll see some shit on the internet that will like blow your mind a little bit. But anyway, I had a gig. I was playing guitar. I was getting paid to play guitar for this singer. I didn't know the songs. I was practicing with my guitar teacher at the time, and I was struggling with it because it was some chords that I wasn't familiar with. And I finally got it. And my teacher said, hey man, don't stop now. He said, amateurs practice till they get it right. Professionals practice till they can't get it wrong, right? And that's how you want to accomplish your goals. You don't want to go after and do what you think may accomplish the goal. You want to fucking put in the kind of effort that will make failure impossible. It would be unreasonable for you to fail with that kind of effort. Everyone I've seen do that wins. You actually can't lose under those circumstances. It's not about luck. You can't lose under those circumstances. But most people have never put in that kind of effort in anything. I told you my dad worked on his business for motherfucking 16 years before it started to work. You motherfuckers will try some shit once and quit. The next thing you need to do is start investing now. You got to start investing now. That's one thing I really wish I would have done in my 20s was investing in either the stock market or real estate. Let me break down this. Let me show you what it looks like if you start investing now. So if I break out one of these compound interest calculators, check this out. Let's say you start with fucking $2,000, right? Boom. And you invest $2,000 a year for 20 years, right? So now you're my age. You're a little bit younger than me. You start at your 20, you do it to your 40, right? Boom. The average return, US stock market is around 10%. Let's calculate that. Look at the compound interest. Boom. You'll be a fucking millionaire by the time you're my age. Like anybody can do that. Anybody can make an extra $2,000 a month. You can make an extra $2,000 driving Uber, doing whatever, right? You don't even have to start your own business and you're a millionaire. It's just gonna take you 40 years, right? Because of the compound interest. Like you can go hard. And what's fucked up is I found ways to make more than that because I was working so hard. So I could have did 3,000. Let's say I did 3,000. What would that look like? Bam, now it's like doubles. I mean, it worked out. I made a bunch of millions. It's just I had to do it in a different way. But this is a way everybody can make money. So, but imagine if I did that and I kept putting the money up. Now it'd be crazy. I'm actually doing this for my son right now. I put $2,000 every month in an account for him, index fund just for him. He's the beneficiary. If I die, he gets it, right? If I ever die. As far as I know, I'm immortal. I might not give it to him if he's a fuck up, but he's on the right path. He's definitely impressed me thus far. But you can do this for you. Like imagine, I could have put in more money. Shit, man, let's say we going super hard, $4,000. That's going super hard, right? But $4,000, now we talking about, almost 3 million, Anybody can be a millionaire if you do that. Anybody, all you can get extra $2,000 if you work hard. right? Most of you guys ain't working super hard. One of the reasons you're not working so hard is because you haven't learned the next thing is time management. If you've been watching my content for any amount of time, you'll know that I think most people are full of shit when they say they don't have enough time to do something. So this is an exercise I call the time exercise. I want you to add up how many hours a week you sleep. It's basically, if you sleep 8 hours a night, that's 56 hours, right? Add up how many hours a week you sleep. Add up how many hours a week on average you work out. How many hours a week you spend with your family. How many hours a week do you work now? These are the only 4 things a man has to do, right? You have to sleep, you have to work out, you have to spend some time with your family, and you have to work. That's it. Everything else is optional. Some assholes think, what about using the bathroom and taking this shit? Listen, if you're in the bathroom like 40 hours a week, you have problems that are beyond the scope of anything I can cover here, right? Go see a doctor, man. Get your shit together. You start add this shit up. Just do it at home. I'm not going to add it up for you. Simple arithmetic. Right? See what that number is and subtract that number from 168. There's 168 hours in every week. How many hours do you have left? That is the amount of time you are wasting on bullshit. And do the exercise. Stop this video, do the exercise. Maybe and type it in the comments. I've done this shit with people and they had like 80 hours left. I'm like, fuck, man. I know you ain't shitting, showering, and shaving for 80 hours a week, motherfucker. You wasting out. And the reason they're wasting time is because they haven't learned time management. The thing is, time management is a weird concept. You can't make time. You have to schedule it. The way you do that is a Google Calendar. So check this out. Here's my calendar. I plan out almost every hour of every day. And this is how I squeeze more life and more success out of each day, right? I plan everything's important. Fucking sleep, my cardio sessions, my workout sessions. You know, I plan the time with my girl. I plan time with my son, my niece, my nephews. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's important to me is in the calendar. The shit that's not important to me is not in the calendar. Motherfucking Nintendo Switch, Smash Bros, right? That shit's not in the calendar because it's not important, right? The shit that's important is in the calendar. And the beauty of this is you can choreograph your life if you start living out of your calendar and managing your time well. Now, I have another video all about this. It'll show you exactly how you can structure your time so you can get more done in less time and accomplish more and run circles around all your competition and the haters. All right, go watch that video right now.